Emergency Gun Meme Review. So, quite the weekend for news.
Dude, check the news. It doesn't matter what channel.
So for those who don't know, or maybe don't know all the details, on Saturday, July 13th, there was an unsuccessful assassination attempt on former president and current presidential candidate, Donald Trump. At his rally in Pennsylvania, multiple rounds were fired at Trump, with one of them hitting him in the ear.
It hit me in the ear!
The would-be assassin was then quickly killed by Secret Service, and then Trump was ushered to safety. But not before he took a moment to reassure the crowd to let them know that he was okay. He did this by standing up and throwing his fist in the air for what is undoubtedly the hardest fucking picture of 2024. The memes were everywhere. Instantly. And not just in the gun world or in the political world. This shit went mainstream in like half an hour. My boys carrying me out of the bar at 4 a.m. The Waffle House staff trying to wrestle me out the door after ending a weekend bender in their establishment. If I don't go quietly, the state won't let me see my children again. Do not get your ears pierced at Claire's. I don't know why, but when I saw that one in particular last night, I laughed far too hard. Cody from All History Hub. Hearing from sources that Biden is shocked, but he's just glad that President Reagan is all right. There were also a lot of parallels drawn to 50 Cent, including an AI cover of his song Many Men, which was not something I knew I needed in my life, but it's fucking good.
Many men wish death upon me.
It brings me unreasonable amounts of joy to hear Trump say, and then, because of course we did, we had some Fallout New Vegas memes, whether it was VATS, or this classic.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave wasteland was forever changed.
Or I think the most fitting one, Quest Failed, Arizona Killer. That's such a throwback to New Vegas. I had to remember that mission to realize why that was so funny. Now, one of my favorite parts about this was the mainstream media's attempt to completely downplay what happened. This was a presidential assassination attempt that happened live on TV. This will go down in American history books, much like the Reagan failed assassination attempt. A former president and current candidate being shot. Big fucking deal. And we were met with headlines from, like, for example, Washington Post, Trump escorted away after loud noises in Pennsylvania rally. ABC News, Donald Trump escorted off stage by Secret Service during rally after loud noises ring out in crowd. Or my favorite, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls at rally. I know journalists aren't people, but Jesus, sometimes they surprise even me. Spike Cohen chimed in, if CNN had been around in 1963, JFK falls really, really hard at rally in Dallas. I mean, anybody who watched the video immediately knew what happened. Just fucking crazy for them to throw up their hands almost like maliciously, like, oh, I don't know, could have been anything. Especially with how serious of a fucking event this was. This one from the Babylon Bee. CNN, clumsy Trump hits head on a bullet. It's satire, but it's fucking close. Trump then raises his fist in something we can only assume is an attempt to melee the sniper. Next up, why fluoride, fentanyl, and birth control, all found in our water supply, is actually a good thing. More at 6. Am I radicalizing people? No, it's Trump who's literally Hitler. Yeah, you know, if anybody's got blood on their hands besides the shooter, it's the mainstream media on this one. Now, of course, we're glad Trump wasn't seriously hurt. I mean, if that was the case, we'd obviously be having a much different conversation right now. But that being said, this isn't all laughs. I do want to make sure that we remember that one innocent bystander was killed and 2 more were pretty seriously injured. So yes, while this is obviously a meme review and we're going to be joking about a lot of stuff, I do want to keep that in mind, and I did, before we got too much further, wanted to point out that there is an official GoFundMe. It's for the victims and the victims' families. If you'd like to go ahead and check that out, I will leave the link down in the description. At time of recording, it's already got over $2 million in donations, including huge $50,000 donations from Dana White, Kid Rock, and oddly enough, American Hartford Gold, a longtime sponsor of the channel. I wasn't expecting to see their name pop up, but it was a very classy move. They did not ask me to put that in the video or even mention it to me at all, but I like to give credit where credit's due. So now back to the memes and the traditional segue of the channel, Marty Robbins. Gunfighter ballads and Trump songs. Big Iron, I guess you just keep that one. Unwatched Roof. Soy Boy, 130 meters. They're hanging me tonight. Well, didn't really get a chance. The Sniper's Job. The Teflon Don. Running Gun. Butler, Pennsylvania. On the Campaign Trail. Missed Me. Democracy on the Ballot. The PA Rally, Fight, 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 and Many Men Wish Death Upon Me.
Many men wish death upon me.
Trump won, Grassy Knoll Marksmanship Club, 0. Yeah, a lot of people went straight to the conspiracy route right off the bat, which on this one, I mean, it's kind of the free space in bingo when it comes to assassinations. I mean, think about it. The last time something like this happened that wasn't to impress Jodie Foster, it put Lyndon B. Johnson in office, so. Everyone at Langley on Monday morning when the Trump marksman comes in and Martha from accounting says, "Hey, Stevie Wonder." Unrelated, a lot of layoffs at the CIA on Monday morning. Nirvana smells like the CIA and the Clintons. Because, I mean, let's be real, if it wasn't the CIA, who else would it be besides, you know, the family with a body count that rivals that of pancreatic cancer, or my ex-wife? What do you mean they missed? Can take out Epstein in a locked jail cell, but a field in Pennsylvania is too far. But if it's not the CIA and it's not the Clintons, oh no. Trump calls Boeing a, quote, big disappointment. Wait a minute. Well, I mean, it is true, the average Boeing whistleblower has the life expectancy of a housefly. One thing is for sure, that people who did very little research are going to loudly tell you that you're wrong. Yeah, this video is already really spicy. We're gonna have problems with monetization on this. But right before I filmed, I did actually ask American Hartford Gold if they'd be willing to sponsor an episode like this, and their answer was an enthusiastic yes. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them real quick. American Hartford Gold helps individuals and families invest in precious metals. That includes physical delivery at your doorstep or inside of a retirement account like a 401k. They also have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews. So if you're looking for a way to diversify your investment portfolio or just, you know, buy some gold, go ahead and check them out. You can use the links down in the description and in the pinned comment, or you can text Brandon to 65532. We appreciate them, and again, as a little sidebar, they donated 50 grand to that GoFundMe without telling me. I found that on my own, so I reached out to them because I thought they'd be a fitting sponsor for the video. So again, we appreciate our partners there. Back to the video. But let's talk about who the shooter actually was. The shooter was none other than the ghost of Kiev himself. Breaking: Trump shooter ID'd as radical pro-nuclear energy activist Samson Heidi. This is legit like one of the oldest jokes on the fucking internet, and it still blows my mind to see the people who don't get it. I mean, there's always like fucking news agencies, especially local ones, that will share Sam Hyde memes, like actually report on it like it's real news until some Gen Zer in their marketing department tells them, "Hey, boss, that's the guy from Fish Tank." But in all seriousness, the shooter was a 20-year-old named... Actually, fuck it, I'm not giving his name because, once again, fuck making these people famous. They're pieces of shit and nobody should remember their name. But as somebody who's killed innocent people, what I will do is bully his Beavis and Butthead looking ass. This kid looks more inbred than the Targaryens and is a worse shot than Seth McFarland. Actually, I didn't put it together, but it's kind of fitting that I made a Seth MacFarlane joke, because a couple seconds after the first shot was fired, his body looked like Peter Griffin after he fell down the stairs. I swear this is like the kind of kid who thinks he's the Chad meme, but in reality he's... I mean, this is what I'm warning you guys about when I'm telling you like basic dad stuff. Lift some weights, talk to girls, take a shower. Probably not in that order. Take a shower first. Touch grass, read a book, take a hike, work on yourself. Build your confidence, learn what it's like to be a man and what responsibilities that holds, and then you don't have to worry about ending up like that piece of shit. Many such cases. They say never to judge a book by its cover, but maybe, you know, don't ignore the cover entirely. There's one thing you will notice about this photo, though, is that the t-shirt looks a little familiar. I say this because in two distinct angles of one of the death photo, one of beforehand, it's very clear that he is wearing a Demolition Ranch Demolition shirt. This shirt, in fact. The whole gun-tuber community seeing the shirt the guy who shot Trump was wearing. Yeah, pretty much. We all pretty much recognized it immediately. I could only imagine what Matt felt in that moment, seeing those photos for the first time. And look, there's all sorts of different scenarios, right? He could have been wearing the shirt to try to camouflage, to fit in. He could have been one of those Socialist Rifle Club guys that watches gun stuff, but is like a far left guy. Judging by the fact that he had the muscle mass of a house cat, I would kind of lean that direction. It's way too early to tell, I'll wait till the dust settles, plus it doesn't really matter with what I'm about to say. The fact that news agencies and journalists have already started reporting on this, calling the Demilitia a right-wing extremist militia, and all sorts of just slanderous shit that's not based in reality. It's a real shame, and it's a fucking disgrace, is what it is. Matt Carricker's a friend of mine, and Demolition Ranch is probably one of the most apolitical, family-friendly, G-rated gun channels of all time. Matt's a family man, he doesn't really get involved in politics, especially not on a public platform, and just an all-around wholesome guy that not only doesn't endorse any of this shit, but doesn't deserve any of the shit that's gonna be thrown his way by the fucking corrupt media. They obviously came for me when I was doing my political thing, so I'm used to this at this point, but that's fair game. I put myself out there as a political figure. That's part of it. You want to call me right-wing extremist based on my views? Sure, whatever. I really don't care. I'm abrasive, kind of a fucking asshole sometimes. Matt Carricker doesn't deserve fucking any of it, and I will die on that hill. Honestly, that's why I decided to wear this t-shirt in the video. Because I can say in the same breath, fuck the guy who did this, and I'm standing with my friend. Luckily, anybody with a brain knows the demo's not connected to this in any way, shape, or form, but unfortunately, journalists don't require a brain to function somehow. We really should study that. I think that's the next breakthrough in modern medicine, is figuring out how they operate without any sort of fucking... Anyhow, just had to get that off my chest. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Although one final meme on this topic, just to lighten the mood back up. Assassination attempt on Trump fails because Matt never zeros his optics. Now, if it was a 9-hole review shirt, if you need to know things like zeroing your rifle, or you just have an interest in gunsmithing weapons technology, I'm kidding, terrible segue for an SDI ad, but I'm still gonna use it. SDI is a good sponsor of the channel, so we wanna make sure we give them a shout out. Where you can get your start in gunsmithing and weapons technology, down using the links in the description and in the pinned comment. Damn, bro, Shane Gillis did a really bad job working for the Secret Service. I don't know who this lady is. I don't know how she got this job. I know one thing. She's making them at night. Thank you, President Trump, for taking one for the timeline and clearing off the garbage normie memes. I'm sorry he had to go through it. I'm sorry this happened, but I am very happy that I get finally a fucking break from all the Haktua memes. Big M-Lock taking me to a labor camp when the Crane Caliphate takes control of the country and makes owning Keymod illegal. Owning Keymod's not illegal, silly. It's just fucking stupid. Random attack on Home Depot rack mod users successful. Brandon Herrera. People requesting he recreates the attempted assassination on Trump. Yeah, that's pretty much been the majority of my comments. That and asking for this emergency gun meme review, so you're welcome. But yeah, a lot of people have been asking, basically since it happened, if I'm gonna do like one of the assassination recreation videos like we do of our series. We did JFK, we did Abraham Lincoln, we did MLK. Just giving historical context behind what happened and trying to recreate the shot with the weapon that was used. This one would be the first time that it happened, you know, in the last 50 or so years, and especially the only one that the victim is still alive. Not only alive, but a presidential candidate. So that's kind of a weird gray area, not gonna lie. I think if I were to do it, I wouldn't just do the ear shot. I would recreate the shot that the Secret Service took as well. Feels like a good way to balance it out, you know? Bad guy gets the 4K comeuppance at the end. That sentence sounded dirty. I don't know why. But what do you think? Do you want to see that video? Let me know down in the comments. But finally, I know this is kind of a developing situation. A lot of tensions are kind of running high right now. The number one thing I would say just to keep in mind is just be careful of the misinformation that's floating out there. I have seen so many posts just spreading like wildfire, identity of the shooter, supposed statements from the Secret Service snipers that were on the roof, all of which have just been debunked. So times like this is when you just chill out a little bit, wait a couple days for all the information to come out, and then we can start asking questions and drawing conclusions. Or don't. Jump straight to conclusions based on an unverified quote you saw on Twitter. Fuck it, I'm not your dad, except for Wendigoon. Yeah, I'm still your dad. Anyhow, that wraps up a particularly spicy episode of Emergency Gun Meme Review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you engage in peaceful discourse in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you don't mind checking to make sure you're still subscribed, yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for staying to the end of the video and for staying with me here on the channel. I appreciate you, I love you, and I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
Lot of memes. Hard to keep track. That was really kind of annoying watching the... Yeah, I won't even get into that. Fuck that.